What's going on, fellas? I have a free training coming up on 3 secrets how to make a woman fall in love with you. I'm gonna give you 3 secrets to teach you that can make women fall in love with you. You're not gonna want to miss this. It's free. Sign up. Link in the bio, the description, or the comments, wherever you see this at. If you're a guy who struggles to keep women around for a long time, if you're a guy who struggles to make it out of the honeymoon phase of dating, where it's 2-3 months and then the girl goes. If you're a guy who struggles maintaining attention and attraction over a long term, if you're a guy who struggles trying to maintain a rotation of girls and keeping them there for a long time, if you're a guy who's trying to get into a long-term serious relationship, this is the place you need to be. August 25th, 3 secrets to make a woman fall in love with you. You do not want to miss this. Come get this free game. Player commandment number 9, never argue with women. Never argue with women. When a woman can bait you into an argument, especially a petty one, when a woman can see that she can bait you to an argument, they look at you like you weak, like you're not solid, right? And ultimately they lose respect for you. Sometimes your girl will be bored, right? Your girl will be bored, the relationship stagnant. Sometimes your girl will start an argument with you, right? Over some little shit, and she can trip you up into an argument for entertainment or whatever. If you fall into this, it's not a good look. She's not gonna look at you like you're a solid dude. You understand what I'm saying? So, and ultimately, they'll lose respect for you. Now, I want you guys to understand something. Arguing causes resentment, causes people to be resentment towards you, and it creates silent enemies, right? A lot of guys, I've heard some guys in this dating coach space say, you should argue with your girl from time to time to create turmoil. Like, there's a million other ways that you create turmoil, healthy turmoil. What I like to call healthy chaos than arguing. Arguing causes resentment because when you argue, your emotions involved. You say things that you shouldn't say. You see what I'm saying? You act in ways that you shouldn't act. You lose your emotions. You let your emotions get the best of you and all this shit. And when you can't control your emotions, you look weak anyway. That's not the way to do it, right? You create resentment, but you also create silent enemies. So you have a person next to you who secretly can't stand you, and they just looking for a way out. They can't wait for their way out, or they waiting on their feelings to die out completely before they leave you. And this is a year's process. You think everything cool, but you call her a fat slut a year ago and shit because you was mad, you was angry. Although you apologized about it, they didn't forget that. You see what I'm saying? And you have an enemy. You sleeping in the bed with an enemy now, and you don't even realize it. So arguing, nothing good comes from arguing, right? As the 48 laws of power say, you win through actions and not arguing, and not argument anyway, right? And there's some game. Check this out, right? This is what these coaches don't tell you this. When you arguing with a woman, right, with your girl or your wife, one of the reasons why they lose respect for you, one is because you let your emotions get the best of you. You can't control your emotions. But the main reason they lose respect for you and it's not attractive to them is because they look to you as the man, as the leader. They look to you for closure and reassurance. You have to learn how to bring closure to conflict. Learn how to resolve conflict. Learn how to give reassurance to a situation. As the man, they depend on you for this. So if you get baited and you get caught up in arguing and back and forth and all of this shit, you're basically letting them down, right? So always, never forget that. They look to you, for closure and reassurance, and they want you to bring closure to the situation and shit like that. So practice that. Learn how to resolve conflict with your lady, right? So you may ask, well, what if she want to argue? What do I do? You tell her, hey, listen, right now we need to chill out because you mad, I'm mad, and tempers are flaring, and I don't want it to explode and go somewhere that it shouldn't. So we can cool out for a second, and when we calm down, we can have a discussion about it. I'm open to hearing your concerns, and I just like you should be open to hearing mine, and we should come to some closure as soon as possible so we can, write this off and continue to being the great couple that we is, right? You say shit like that. You don't want to ever dismiss him. Now, sometimes, especially if it's petty, if you know it's petty and it's not about nothing, because women are for entertainment, or when they get bored, they try to, do little petty shit and start petty. You tell her to go on or get out. I don't want to say get out my face, because I say shit like that, but I wouldn't advise you to say shit like that. But you tell her, listen, man, I ain't got time for that. The petty shit, right? But if it's a real concern, sometimes we have real concerns, and you never want to neglect that part of your relationship. Neglect those real concerns. If it's a real concern, you let her know, hey, listen, if it's heated, you tell her, hey, we're gonna calm down and then we can hear each other out. But if it's not heated and your girl have a concern, or you see that it's maybe gonna be an argument, say, listen, I'm open to hearing how you feel, and I'm open to hearing your concerns. That's what I'm here for. So let's hear it. What do you have to say? And you listen, right? What you never want to do, I hear this in the space a lot too. What you never want to do when you're in a relationship. Now, if it's a chick you fucking, or you just talking to, you don't care, that's cool. But when you're in a relationship with a person, or the marriage or whatever, you never say this. You never say shit like your feelings aren't reality, right? Or your feelings don't matter. How you feel don't matter. It's logical, riveting. You never say shit like that. Instead, you say, I understand how you feel, right? And I acknowledge your feelings. And then you state your case, XYZ, XYZ. But you do want to figure out in a way to teach your woman that you open to hearing her feelings. Her feelings are valid. I understand your feelings, sweetie. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid. However, you understand what I'm saying? I make sure that I let women know that I deal with it, that just because you feel a certain type of way doesn't make you right. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to shut off a woman's feelings, because shutting off a woman's feelings is everything to her. It's just like your logic is everything to you. So when you tell a woman your feelings don't matter, or your feelings aren't reality, or it's wrong or whatever, it's like it's the equivalent of her calling you dumb, or you stupid, or your logic is flawed. You don't know what you're talking about. See what I'm saying? It's the same equivalent. I will never tolerate a woman calling me stupid. See what I'm saying? It's the same thing on the flip side, because their feelings matter to that much to them. So you always want to acknowledge a woman's feelings and let her know that they valid, right? But if she's done something wrong, you need to correct that wrong, and also let her know that we can't, just because you feel it don't mean it's make it right or wrong. I mean, don't mean that it's right. It's not always right because you feel like that. I may feel like I want to go trick or whatever. I may feel like, you tell them, I may feel like I want to go fuck somebody else. Does that make me right? No, right? But we do got to acknowledge my feelings. But always acknowledge your girl feeling. Because again, a woman's feelings is like her battery. Like it's just like a battery. It's like the operating system. And when you shut that down, when you shut that out, they'll start to shut down on you. You see what I'm saying? You start to not become the space, the safe space for them to be submissive and open and feminine. You have to be able to, in order for a woman to be completely open with you, open and honest and, submissive in the whole nine, she has to feel like you are a safe space for her feelings. And so you never want to shut those out. When you in a committed relationship with a girl you care about, a hoes you fucking or hoes you debating, who cares? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to acknowledge that, but you have to understand that at some point, when you shutting a woman's feelings down and you shutting a woman's feelings off, they'll start shutting down on you, and they won't open up to you. They'll close off to you, and this is how the guy at work whisper in their ear and get them. You understand what I'm saying? So I said all that to say you never ever argue with women.